That's Texan football right there. That's the brand of football I love to see. All right, running the ball, dominating on defense, all right? Scoring points, that's what it looks like. We just getting started. We just hitting that groove. And I love where we are right now, all right? You guys talked about it last night. We had 8 quarters. That's 4 down, 4 to go.
It's been a blessing to work with my guys, my brothers. Everybody works really hard in Houston, man. From our fans to our team, and we really wanted to uplift this city, and so we're on the right track.
I feel as if this Houston Texans team is very, very, very similar to that Joe Burrow second-year season Super Bowl appearance type of squad. You know, all phases, start to finish, offense, defense, special teams, everyone just hitting on one accord. But the thing that really, really shines with CJ Stroud when everything is clicking, man, he can just get rid of the ball so fast. And I'm over here and I'm like, you know, this offensive line for the Texans, they're good. I don't want to take anything away. They're really good. But damn, CJ Stroud just gets rid of the ball before anyone can get to him. Like, they don't even have a shot. And the one sack that he did get that was 12 yards back starts out in shotgun, and he's really just holding on to the ball too long, honestly. And it was a covered sack, so good defense. But that's what you need in the playoffs. You need a good offensive line. And we're not even there yet, guys. We got a big game next week. I'm going to get there. I just want to talk about this game. You're going to need an offensive line and a quarterback to be on one accord. It really is a partnership between the two. Any jabroni that sees a sack is going to say, oh, wow, this offensive line is not protecting CJ Stroud. And I say, hold on, calm down. In this particular play, the offensive line did stand up for about 4 to 5 seconds. That is a movie. That is a movie timeline for a quarterback to get rid of the ball. And CJ just held on to it too long, and it was a good covered sack. But you see that they're working together, and it's beautiful in that regard. You want to take that to the playoffs. This offensive line is also showing me amazing things. When Devin Singletary was on the Bills, the knock was that the offensive line wasn't good enough to make him good. And I don't know if you've seen the offensive line for the Texans are making Devin Singletary look like one of them ones, looking like a top 10, top 15 running back in the National Football League. And for me, let's just take me in consideration, I'm over here thinking, like, why isn't Dameon Pierce getting the ball? Like, why are the carries for Devin Singletary 16 and the carries for Dameon Pierce are 8? It is very simple if you look at the game. Devin Singletary, I guess he was always good, but it's when the offensive line can create the possibilities for playmakers, and that's what Devin Singletary is, to run off on that 24-yarder and really push the momentum. He's a lot tougher than he looks in the scheme of, I think he can take a whole bulk carry, you know, like what Kyron Williams is doing for the Rams. I think Devin can do that, and that's what Devin was doing before Dameon had came back. And so I'm all on board on Devin Singletary. I just need to know, how do you guys think in playoffs? Because playoffs is different. You know, playoffs, you think you know a coach, you think you know a scheme, but in playoffs, things change. In playoffs, do you guys think it should be more of a 50-50 with Devin Singletary and Dameon Pierce? Or should we just keep riding the coattails of Devin and have him get that 16 carries and that 8 carries for Dameon like we saw in this Tennessee Titans game? I need to know in the comments, just because I'm not really sure on the full aptitude of what the fan base of Texans culture thinks. I really don't know. And then we get to Nico Collins. And this is going to be the first guy we talk about. I told you guys, in week 4, when our first videos on the Houston Texans, that I believe that Nico Collins had the potential and the promise and the talent to become a household name like a T. Higgins. That's who I see. I see his impact of a T. Higgins. I see him as a more universal Gabe Davis style receiver. This guy is good, man. I think he's just freaking athletic, just freaking good at his job. I do want to say one thing. The only unfortunate miscue that I see, and I'm not saying it's a bad thing. I'm not saying it's a bad thing. Get out of your all's feelings. I'm not saying it's a bad thing. But the Robert Woods, he did get 4 catches for 58 yards. I just keep thinking in the back of my head, damn. If that was Tank, man. If that was Tank Dell getting these targets, I would just feel way more confident in this offense. But I still see some life in Robert Woods' legs. That screen he had where he scampered off for 18 yards, that came out of nowhere. I was not expecting that at all. And then you have other athletes really coming into their own. We already know how good Noah Brown is, but Brevin Jordan, you know, a Miami tight end who was drafted in the 5th round. No one really had a lot of high hopes for him, but it very, 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 very much looks like Bobby Slowick sees a beautiful piece to the pie in Brevin Jordan. A beautiful piece to the pie. And I love it. I love his speed. I love his run after catch. I mean, he gives us a 12-yard scamper, but I just see a legitimate piece, a valuable piece of Brevin Jordan and Dalton Schultz really vibing off of each other. It just seemed as if the defense for the Titans didn't know who to guard, didn't know who was going to pop out at any point. And I just love that yin and yang. And guys, this is what I see. I am not saying this is what it is. I'm just saying the dynamic, okay? Please. I understand but with that being said, I see a similarity. Not saying this is going to be a thing, but you guys remember Gronk? Oh, this is going to Aaron Hernandez vibes. Just the two different styles of tight ends, right? One more speedy, athletic, and Aaron Hernandez, and the other guy is really a go-getter, a big-time catcher, a safety blanket, a safe haven for the quarterback, and Gronkowski. I just feel as if it's a type of that with Dalton Schultz and Brevin Jordan. All right, I understand if you disagree. That's just what I thought. Okay, I understand if you disagree, but remember when I told you guys there were some people that I really wanted to harp on that mad people were talking mad shit about. I remember the first time I did Mr. Will Anderson Jr.'s first video. Well, first I remember looking at him, looking at his highlights, and I was like, okay, highlights are awesome. Let me look at some actual film. Let me look at some actual games he was playing out there in the SEC. And then, it was just, for me, right? For me, it was clear as day that he was disruptive, right? It was clear as day that he had a lot of talent from his freshman season where I think he got 7 sacks. And then his sophomore season, he shocked the whole world with giving us 17.5 sacks. And then, surprisingly, his last season at Alabama, everyone was just starting to say, whoa, this guy wasn't what he was because he only ended the season with 10 sacks. All right? But the cognitive dissonance in it was this game that they kept all telling me to watch. And this is when I was doing my mock drafts. This is when I was doing my player evals. This is when I was doing my player rankings. They all kept saying, I didn't know football. Kind of like how you guys say from time to time. They kept saying, I don't know football because I didn't look at the Tennessee game with Will Anderson and Darnell Wright. I go, okay. I feel like I didn't need to see the game in particular, so I go and see the game. I'm looking at the game. And it was just clear as day that they were not letting Will Anderson rush. It was clear as day that they were looking to contain Hendon Hooker. And that's when Jalen Hyatt and everybody goes off for them. And I'm just looking, and I'm like, how do y'all not see this? And so I'm getting bashed. I'm getting slammed. I'm getting embarrassed. Everyone's talking trash to me. And then look, behold, the draft happens. And you guys draft CJ Stroud and go back into the first round to get, once again, another big pick in Will Anderson Jr. And you just see how right. And this is my arrogance. This is my ego. But I just love that Will Anderson Jr. is proving me right. Because a lot of these douchebags were sending me the worst messages, literally killing me, saying that Tyree Wilson was better. And I'm like, I don't know what the hell y'all are looking at. I really do not. And you have professionals, right? You have the Chris Sims of the world that were really I don't really, he has that stupid lisp. I don't really see and understand how Will Anderson Jr. is the number one pass rusher. And then you just see it today. And it's just clear as day. And you just see how people are just goofy. It's stupid. And so, Mr. Will Anderson Jr., thank you. Thank you for proving me right and continue to be great as you had an amazing game where you got back-to-back sacks. Okay, Tyree Wilson's not doing that, and I'm going to keep bringing him up. Every time I bring up Will Anderson Jr., you go into Week 18 with 7 sacks. Okay, 7 sacks. And look and behold, when you type in NFL rookie sack leaders, you're going to see a guy named Kobe Turner, who was a defensive tackle for the Rams. Good kid. I like him a lot. And then after that, you're going to see Will Anderson Jr. with 7 sacks. And then if you look even further, you're going to see freaking Tyree Wilson with 2.5 sacks. And the reason why this pisses me off is because the shit that I got. And I'm just, once again, thank you, Will Anderson Jr. You saved my sanity. I just love where this team is going, right? I just understand. And this Colts game, holy moly, you win, you're in. You guys already have the tiebreaker over the Steelers. If you win, you're in. I'm going to say it like this. I'm confident in this Texans team. Y'all are going to beat the Colts. I'm not even going to really harp over it, but I genuinely feel with this offensive line and CJ Stroud on one accord, CJ Stroud's ability to get rid of the ball, Will Anderson Jr., Jerry Hughes, Sheldon Rankins, this defensive line is not playing with anyone. Derek Barnett, who just came into the scene, gave us a 1.5 sacks against the Titans. This defense just had a 6-sack game. 6-sack game against the Tennessee Titans. This is what y'all are bringing into the playoffs. And so do not let up against this Colts team. Wash them, and then go into the playoffs and be that team that I believe y'all can be. Y'all can be that Bengals team that shocks the freaking world. I believe that CJ Stroud has the poise, the capabilities. Bobby Slovak, from my point of view, he's a freaking genius. And we already know what D'Amico Ryans is going to have that defense ready for. And once again, and to you Texans fans, I'll never forget the shit that y'all were talking about Derek Stingley Jr. in the beginning of the season, and what y'all were doing with the whole Sauce Gardner debate. I'm just happy y'all have Derek Stingley Jr. This defense is set. The only thing that hurts me, I wouldn't say it hurts y'all, but man, I just wish Tank was here, man. I just keep saying that. I just wish Tank was here. But we'll see. I'll see you guys here next week after you beat the Colts. Like, comment, and subscribe.